Yo, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're great. Welcome back to the channel. This is Man United Central, and I'm your boy Luther. I appreciate you coming back here one more time to get your updates when it comes to our Manchester United. You know what? Do me a favor before we get started. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, that way you do not miss any new news that comes out of this channel. Because as we know, Manchester United, things pop anytime, and as I get it, I may jump in and put in that video that way you are informed, right? Thank you so much in advance. Let's jump into it. So again, today has been one of those days. News happening all the time. So what we're going to get into today, we're going to talk about the takeover, top of our list. I know, top of your list, top of my list, top of everybody's list when it comes to Manchester United. And then we're going to talk about, obviously, the ins and outs, the transfer situation, what is going on. Okay, we're going to talk about some David De Gea. We're going to talk about other news like Kylian Mbappe. I know people get excited when they hear that. So, and then we're going to talk about, obviously, the one thing that we know that we're definitely in, like Mason Mount, and see where we're at when it comes to everything that goes around in Manchester, right? Without further ado, let's jump into it. So our first article today is coming from, actually the article happened yesterday. This is from Reuters. Reuters is a news organization based in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. And Reuters, they report mostly it's news, not necessarily sports. They do regular news, financial news. So pretty much they're usually well plugged in. It's a very reputable source when it comes to news, right? Whenever you think of Reuters, you will think of CNN, you will think of BBC. That's how good they are, right? So Reuters put in some an article yesterday talking about the whole Manchester United takeover. All right, so pretty much what they said, it went like this. Okay, so basically from that Reuters article, they were revealing that Manchester United is currently negotiating exclusively with a consortium led by Qatar Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Okay, and they've been in talks to sell the club, and the amount that they're trying to negotiate with is about 6 billion. Right, this is a major development in the Sheikh Jassim's pursuit to take over the iconic sports brand. Right, obviously Manchester United is iconic. So this is major information because according to Reuters, right, I know there are other news organizations out there, other reporters out there who are saying this is not the case, but according to Reuters, because this situation when it comes to the purchase of Manchester United is more of the financial side of it, right? Most of the reporters like Jacobs or the Sky Sports, they know more about the ins and outs when it comes to transfers, like, buying, selling players and stuff like that. Reuters, they know what they're talking about, right? And for them to put out an article like this, it is well sourced. It means that somebody double checked, triple checked, and people signed off on it, say, okay, put it out there to the world, because their reputation lies on it, right? So they put this thing out there, and the world pretty much lit up on fire, because Reuters, this whole time during the transfer saga, we didn't hear much from Reuters, right? We heard from all those reporters, Jacobs, from Daily Mail, Guardian, those news organizations, right? And now when we see this coming from Reuters, it's a big deal. Okay, let's see what else they say. Okay, now according to Reuters, also they're saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the billionaire founder of Ineos, has been making moves as well. Rumor has it that he flew all the way to New York, right, from the over at wherever he was. I don't know if he was in London or wherever he was. He flew all the way to New York to have a face-to-face meeting with United's representatives. Rumor has it. Okay. Now talk about dedication. Obviously, because obviously, Jim Ratcliffe believes that he's still in the game. Yes, the scale looks like it's tipping towards Ashraf Hussein, but he believes that he's still in the game. Okay, so he flew all the way to New York to have a face-to-face, because sometimes whenever you're negotiating deals, you want to look at someone in the eye like this. I'm looking at you guys. Did you hit the subscribe button? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like that, something like that. Eye to eye, right? All right. So now let's get serious, okay? Now let's get into the more nitty gritty when it comes to this whole thing. We're gonna bring in another reporter when it comes to the economy, and this guy is from BBC Economics, and his name is Faisal Islam. I'm sure you guys have seen some quotes that I put in. He usually posts most of his stuff to Twitter. So last couple of videos I posted some Twitter when he was talking about the stock price of Manchester United jumping up and all that, right? So according to Faisal Islam, he believes that the Qatar organization is currently leading the race for the United takeover, right? He even compared it to a football match, right? I know. For you Americans, we're not talking about NFL. We're talking about football, the real football. Okay. Basically, he's saying that basically where we're at right now in the whole takeover saga, it's like we're approaching the 89th minute, and Qatar is leading 3-2. Right? Imagine you're in a match, 89th minute, and Qatar is leading 3-2. So, will they score the winning goal on time, or what's going to happen? You know how intense you are when you're like, the game is like 89th minute, man, things can really pop. You keep your fingers crossed. Is someone going to do a back pass to David De Gea, and then he fumbles and he loses the ball, and then the opposing team gets the ball and score? Are we going to win? And we win this means we win the Champions League type thing. So it's like that. That's the analogy he used, right? Now, so basically that's what he's saying. It's that close. Now, because it's that close, basically it's that close on the side of Qatar, right? Now, Sir Jim can pretty much jump in there. It could be like, okay, it was a back pass, or Maguire has the ball, and then all of a sudden their attacker, who could be like Sir Jim's attacker, nips the ball, and then boom, they're going one-on-one with the head, right? Knowing that if you score, then it is game on. We're going to extra time, right? It's like that. This is how close this thing is, right? Let me continue to what he's saying. So a potential deal has sent shockwaves through the financial market. Okay, basically it caused Manchester United shares to skyrocket to about 50%. Okay, the club stock ended trading from the New York Stock Exchange on Thursday. It was up by 6.8%, closing at 24.81. Closing meaning that at the end of the trading day. Usually in the US here, the end of the trading day is 3:30. That's when the market closes, and from that point, 3:30 in the afternoon, right? So at that point, it means that the stock closed at 24.81, right? Basically, it has been a roller coaster for all the United fans, because we have been monitoring the stock market to see what's going on. Is it going down? Is it going up? Yes, I've been doing that too, because it is fascinating. It is totally fascinating, right? Now, so the article continues that a potential deal of over $6 billion would make it one of the biggest transactions in sports world, following the sale of, remember I had mentioned to you guys, NFL, which is National Football League, here in the United States for the purchase of Washington Commanders, which happened earlier this year. I'm not sure exactly what is the fee, but whatever United is going to be purchased at, it's going to be closer to that figure that was purchased by the Commanders, right? So I think the Commanders was probably like $5 billion or something like that. So whatever's going to happen, it's not going to go lower than that. It's going to be Man United's purchase probably going to go even higher, right? So basically, it's saying that the reason why this is significant is basically the Manchester United valued. It's valued at 10 times its last year's annual revenue, right? So times its last year's annual revenue, right? So the amount that United will be purchased at, it is valued at 10 times 2022 value. That is how crazy it is, right? Now, let's go on. So, basically for us Manchester United fans, waiting for the news, it's been, I know, it's been a pain, right? But with the ownership situation still up in the air, it has been a roller coaster ride for all of us, definitely, including our manager, Erik Ten Hag, right? Because he's probably stealing his hair. The man doesn't have any hair, I know, but he's been pulling his hair because he's like, what am I going to do here? You know, transfer window is open. I don't know how much money I have to spend. You know, he's in limbo as well. Okay? So that has been really, I'm sure, hurting him. I know now he's on vacation. Probably he'll be back next week. But still, like, this whole time he's sitting there like trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do here? I need to get players. I need to move players in and out. Hurting him. I know now he's in vacation. Probably he'll be back next week. But still, like, this whole time he's sitting there like trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do here? I need to get players. I need to move players in and out. You know, how I'm gonna build my team, whereas I don't know how much to spend. Right? Now let's continue. So now PSG might be, according to this another article, this is from I believe the Guardian, if I'm not mistaken, or Manchester Evening News, right? It's reported that PSG might be ready to sell Kylian Mbappe to United if Sheikh Jassim takes over. Now, come on, imagine Mbappe at Old Trafford. You know, it'll be something to see. It'll be exciting. But the reality is this, right? Even if we get acquired, guys, right? Let me get close. Even if we get acquired today, or we're not going to hear anything today or tomorrow or Monday, because here in the US, Monday is a holiday, Juneteenth. So if that was to happen, like, it's not going to be one of those like, oh, get a whole bunch of money to go all crazy. It's not going to happen. The transfer budget that Ten Hag has, whatever he was told, which is 100 million. If he sells, he can go up to 250 maybe. That is all he has. That will not change. So please do not think miracles will happen, right? To get a player like Kylian Mbappe, it means that Ten Hag would have to do some crazy juggling, sacrificing, and say, you know what, I'm going to get Kylian Mbappe and forget about this, that, or whatever, right? Okay, let's continue with the article, right? So, another news is this whole transfer saga, right, has created a huge frustration for the 800 plus Manchester United employees, guys. Imagine these employees, they're going to work every day at Old Trafford. They support the organization, but they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to have their jobs, right? The whole transfer saga has been basically has kept the employees in the job. They don't know what's going to happen. Imagine you go to work not knowing that tomorrow you will have your job. Because what happens is this: people feel, we've seen this in other organizations. if an acquisition happens, a company gets bought, yes, the new owner may come in and say, you know what, I don't need 800 employees. They may slash the employees, because when you slash the wage, which how much you pay people, you can save that way, and then restructure based on how, as the new owner would want to operate. So we have 800 plus employees who have shown a huge frustration on not knowing what is going on, what is happening to Manchester United, what is going to happen to their futures. These people have families, and it's not a good situation to be in. And especially I can imagine some of them just wake up all the time looking at the news, just like us, saying, "Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with that? With Manchester United? Would I still have my job, or that kind of thing?" Right? So it's pretty frustrating. I really hope this thing, comes to some kind of conclusion to give everybody a peace of mind. Employees, 800 plus, us, you. The whole world, because Manchester United is the biggest club in the world. Everybody's monitoring this, right? So hopefully we get a conclusion sooner rather than later. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, so let's pivot to some transfer news. So apparently United has been, as I mentioned to you, I think a couple of videos back, we have been linked with Leon Goretzka. Now, Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich is central midfielder. But Goretzka recently gave his clear verdict that, look, I really don't want to leave Bayern, because most of these players, Bayern players, German players, they don't leave Germany. Whenever they play, they stay there. Hardly you see them move to Premier League or other leagues. They usually stay there, right? So Goretzka is good, but I don't know. I don't see him leaving Bayern to come to Manchester United. So this is one of those like a news but no news. Other news is we're going to talk about, of course, today what we heard about. United released their retained player list, right? Every season, another season, the beginning of new season, before the beginning of new season, the team will release the players that they want to keep for the coming season. Some players were cut, of course, Phil Jones, notably, of course, he was cut because he has been earning wages, being hurt for the longest time, so he's gone. And then Axel Tuanzebe, defender, again, another player who's been hurt. He had potential, but, I'm glad that we released him. But something that's very interesting, if you guys are following me on the shorts, I posted from this list, I see one player that really was not cut. Who's that? Put it in the comments below. I'm gonna wait. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood was not on that list. Basically, Manchester United and the board decided to keep Mason Greenwood. Now, yes, he's not on the released list, but he's on the current list for the 2023-2024 season, meaning that it looks like they may give him a path to play for us again, right? I don't know, because it could be that the board, Ten Hag, and everybody are feeling like, look, the way it looks, we don't have money to actually go out there and get a proper striker who can give us, 10, 15, 20 goals, right? We may be able to get one if possible, and we have to deal with what we have. Mason, who's usually hurt, right? So we need another striker. So the board, they may be looking, look, we may have to kind of find a way to acclimate him back to the team. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Mason Greenwood back to the team, right? I know a lot of us, they may be like, you know what, this guy shouldn't be in the team, but it could be they're going to quote it like it's desperate, and they had to do it. They had no choice but to do it, but to keep it. So now, and other news is, of course, one name that was not on that list, right, who was on the players that was not included is our number one shot stopper, David De Gea, right? David De Gea was not on there. I reported that yesterday, like, hey, there's still some rumblings going on with his contract. De Gea was not on the list, and this, pretty much when the list came out, it created a huge hoopla and craziness because, like, it's De Gea, man. He's not on the list. But again, personally, I would say, you know what, De Gea, we appreciate you. You're a legend. You have been with the team for so many years, Golden Glove winner. But it's time for you to move on, and it's time for us to go a different path when it comes to our goalkeeping situation. Yes, the time is not perfect, but him leaving, it means now Ten Hag has to tap into his small kitty of money, whatever he has, to get a proper shot stopper. Okay? Yes, we've been linked with Onana, of course, as I mentioned yesterday. Onana, Costa, Raya, Pickford. I really hope it's not Pickford, because Pickford is, yes, England number one, but no. It could be any of the other ones, but not Pickford. Please, United, right? So that isn't ideal, but now Ten Hag has to do some juggling here to get that goalkeeper in, because if he doesn't do that, then you're dealing with Dean Henderson and probably another goalie who is not worthy to hold that Man United number one. Sure, if De Gea signed, then Ten Hag wouldn't have that issue. He could have moved those funds to get other players. Like, he needs some midfielders, like two strikers, maybe one aggressive defender. And now things change, right? Let me move on real quick here. Also, we've been linked with AC Milan center back Theo Hernandez. He's good, but again, his price tag is like 50 million. It's kind of high, right? So, Theo Hernandez is good, but maybe you can he may have to go back to Ajax and get Timber. But again, Timber is short, right? You can't have two center defenders that are short, because the Butcher Martinez is short. You cannot have Timber short as well, because in the Premier League, most of the players, strikers, whatever, they're pretty tall. So it works now having Martinez and you have Varane, the height situation. So that's why Kim Min-jae would work perfectly if we can secure his services. Can we secure his services? It's not looking good, guys, because Bayern Munich, it looks like they've stepped up their pursuit of Kim Min-jae, and the way it looks now, I wouldn't be surprised if Kim Min-jae signs for Bayern, and then we would have lost another one. So we lost Kane, okay, because the price was crazy. Now we're gonna lose Kim Min-jae. Again, it's not nobody's fault, because nobody knows how to proceed here, because we don't know how much money we have to spend. We can just tell these players, hey, we want you, but we cannot put a bid for it. So it's pretty insane, guys. But that is pretty much all I got, guys. Really, this video has gone kind of long. Yeah, I know it was a lot, but again, when it comes to United, it is one of those things that is pretty insane. But it's called Football Transfers, and they're reporting that basically this TAKEOVER Saga has destroyed Manchester United transfer plan, right? Basically, they're saying that, according to Mike Keegan in the Daily Mail, the American family, which is the Glazers, are still to make their final decision, right? And this could it could be disastrous for the transfer situation. So the critical piece of information is that once they finally make their choice, the Glazers now. Once the Glazers make their choice, even if they make the choice tomorrow, there will be an approval process, right? And this approval process, it could take up to from 8 to 12 weeks, guys. right? So even if the Blazers say tomorrow or the day after, boom, it's Sheikh Shasim, it will take up to 8 to 12 weeks to get the approval, because he has to go through the English Premier League board and a whole bunch of stuff, right? So that said, it means that us United, we are unlikely to have new owners by September, guys. So the league will start, and most likely we will still have the Blazers in control, guys. I know, sorry to end on a sad note, but that is the news, and we only report what we read, what is presented out there by people who are plugged in. And that's our job, and I hope you enjoyed this show. Again, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, God willing. Thank you so much. As you're leaving, do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. That way you do not miss any new information from this channel. Thank you so much. Peace out.